Today we're going to be talking about 5 simple things you can do to keep your family safe in public as their husband and father. How's it going, guys, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk. My name is Chad, and you're out here in my little tiny cabin on wheels parked out in here on my family's property that we're calling the Hopeful Homestead. And in this series of videos, I like to talk to all the dads and husbands out there that are just going through life, dealing with all the difficult stuff we have to deal with, just trying to figure it out. Today, we're talking about 5 simple things you can do as a husband and father to protect your family, keep them safe while you're out in public. And step 1 of that is always carrying your gun. Everywhere you go, everywhere you're going with your family, make sure you're carrying a firearm so that you have a fighting chance in an instance of running into some sort of evil out there. Because if you've got a firearm that you're proficient with and that you regularly practice with, you will be able to defend your family in that moment's notice. And the second thing on the list that you can do that is very simple and very easy to put into practice is make sure that you're never wearing flip-flops. That's why I brought one of my flip-flops, because I love flip-flops. Being here in South Florida, flip-flops are just a part of culture, just as much as boots are in Texas. So it's tough not wearing these all the time. Now, if we're going to the beach or going to a pool or going somewhere where it's appropriate, going somewhere where there's not necessarily going to be a big gathering of people that's likely to have some sort of, assailant doing something wrong there. I never wear flip-flops to church anymore. I never wear flip-flops going downtown, walking into restaurants, and I try my best to always wear boots. Because what's worse than trying to protect your family and grab your little girls or your kids, and you're trying to shield your wife and you're tripping over yourself because you've got flip-flops on. And step 3 that I like to do to be able to keep my family safe in public is, in addition to carrying your everyday carry firearm on your person all the time, I keep several other firearms locked and loaded in my truck, in the back of my Bronco. And I keep a lever action rifle, I keep a couple of more pistols in there, I keep, sometimes I'll throw a shotgun in there if I feel like it's what I need, but I for the most part have several other options and additional boxes of ammo in there, in addition to a med kit. Having an ability to patch up wounds on the fly is important as well. If there's a bigger threat that's more than just one person, if it's a bigger scale event, you've got more firepower in your vehicle to be able to retreat to. You use your everyday carry pistol to get to your rifle, and then you're in your vehicle and you've got your big guns. You can take them out of the trunk, have them with you as you're driving and fleeing the dangerous scenario. And yes, these are all circumstances that are very few and far between, very low probability chances, but these things happen in the world today, and they're happening a little more regularly than I'd like to see. So I'm going to be prepared. I'm not going to be one of the sitting ducks that's not prepared for something like that. And I hope that you will do the same. And that brings me to the 4th item on this list. Always back your vehicle into the parking spot wherever you are in public. Say you're going to a restaurant, you're going to church, you're going to downtown to hang out with your family, go see a fireworks show on 4th of July, whatever it is. Back your vehicle into the parking spot so that in the event you have to flee, you can just all run and hop in your vehicle and start it and get out of there. You're not trying to back up and worry about turning 3 points and all that. You just can go. And that's a simple element of preparation that takes a couple extra seconds to take care of when you're parking and arriving, when you might be eager to just get out and go do what you're going to do. Take those couple of seconds to back your vehicle in so you're not adding to the difficulty of fleeing if you have to flee from wherever you're located at. So the 5th and final thing on this list, it's one that's famous. It's one that in the prepper community is very common knowledge. When you're in a restaurant, sit on the side of the table as the man, sit on the side of the table that faces the door, faces the point of entry, so that you are aware of any threats coming in. And you can then be the first one to notice it and be able to make a decision on how to protect your family. And as part of that, take note of where the potential exits could be, even if it's more than the actual front door. Sometimes if the threat comes through the front door, you're not going to be trying to exit through the front door. You got to know where you're going to be able to go to get out of the place when you need to. So take note of exit routes and options of where you can take your family to safety. And something that's a bonus item I wanted to mention that is still practical. If you're a man of faith, this is something you should be doing anyways, but it's pray. Pray on the daily. Pray for your family. Pray for your outings. Pray for your travels. On your own, just say a quick prayer all the time. I like to think I've always got an open link to God. I can just say a few words here and there all day long. Ask for Him to breathe ability into me as the protector of my family to stay alert and aware. All right, that's been another episode of Coffee Talk. Again, my name is Chad. This is the Hopeful Homestead. From here in my little tiny cabin on wheels, let me know in the below what other steps you take to keep your family safe when you're in public. I always appreciate reading what you guys have to say down there. And let me know where you're watching from. I always like to know how far these videos are reaching. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. See you later.